CBDCs. The CBDCs.
Yes.
People do not know how to spend their money
I'm against CBDC.
because cash is the most untraceable form of money.
And we don't want to be another China.
I heard they can even have your money expired.
It's very, very scary.
Okay, well, welcome to our first podcast episode for Super Future in collaboration with Traders Brawl. Traders Brawl, I am CEO and founder of, which is a fitness with financial freedom podcast. And I'm here with two guests, Ahmed, or Ghaz, and Mimi. So, welcome, both of you. I'm very happy to have you both on the show.
Thank you very much for inviting us.
Absolutely, yeah. And, well, we can start off with introductions. So, whoever wants to go first.
Ladies first.
He's a gentleman.
Okay, so let me start by saying that my name is Mimi. So originally I'm from Singapore, residing currently in Kuala Lumpur. So I started cryptocurrency, similar like your case, 2017. It was purely because of traveling and then meeting guys, because we were traveling buddies back then. And then after that, a few of the people were saying about Bitcoin back then, but I wasn't so sure. Back then, the information about Bitcoin, I think it wasn't so much like when you Google on the internet as compared to now. When you Google Bitcoin, it's like everywhere. Yeah, so I was looking for, kind of like a mentor to like really settle down and like teach about blockchain as a whole. So 2017 to 2019 was like my discovery and my research year. Yeah, and then after that, first exchange that I used would be Coinbase. Literally Coinbase. It wasn't popular back in Singapore. And then I saw the other alternative coins like Ethereum, Litecoins, and whatever that is listed there. So I'm like, it looks like some stock trading that I did. So eventually I tried to buy here and there. Didn't make money out of Ethereum and Bitcoin, but Chainlink. Yeah.
Chainlink.
When I bought it was like 70 cents and then it went up to $27.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. And we have Ahmad as well in the room.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Ahmad Ghaznawi Ghazali, but aka King Ghaz. Okay, that is my brand name, my commercial name. Okay, I've been doing online business in 2009. Until now, I'm not working full time. Okay, I'm traveling the world and educate people about crypto. Okay, I started my crypto journey in 2015. Okay, when Bitcoin was like $200.
Wow.
Yes. But back then, not much information because we are not sure what is the future of Bitcoin, right? But after the first halving in 2016, okay, we see the growth of price. Okay, I'm monitoring from the $1,000 to the $19,000. Then we'll see the potential of crypto. Okay, and I also have a Gabema Academy in Malaysia. Okay, that's the academy we teach people about crypto. Okay, we have students from around the world, I think more than 50 countries. And we want to give them to mastering a crypto ideology, because in crypto there are so many technologies coming in very fast. Okay, so you cannot catch up, right? So that's why you need to teach people how to learn about crypto. Okay.
Exactly. I agree with that. And that's the whole purpose of podcast. The whole purpose is to educate people about this emerging topic and inviting guests who are in the space for some time and are able to depart knowledge in the space.
True.
So with that said, the topic of today is CBDCs, Central Bank Digital Currencies. So as a quick overview, CBDCs is something that is being introduced by the central bank, which is a digital currency owned by the central bank that will allow, instead of going through normal banks, the central bank will have a direct relationship with the consumer. So they can print money, they can also delete money, they can also set parameters on where you can spend that money and things like that. That's the whole point of CBDCs. Another reason for why CBDCs are coming into place is because there's a lot of debt, government debt, and CBDCs will allow governments and countries better to pay off their debts, making sure that people pay on time, making sure that they're paying their taxes, and instead of using cash, moving away from cash into a cashless society where everything is digital. Now, this has become a subject of debate and concern for mainly the crypto community, for reasons that we will get into. And I would like us to firstly talk about the arguments for it, and then we can go into the arguments against it. So I would like to invite maybe Mimi on this one. Maybe it's going to be a tough question for you. But what arguments do you see would be good for having a central bank digital currency?
Okay, so the way I look at it, right, when government impose this CBDC, it's because most of the time it's for regulation purposes. Crypto currently, the industry, we are looking at like how stock market were back then when there wasn't regulations and everybody was just coming in and just buy stocks. It's a pretty wild west market, right? Because of that, I think that's the reason why they want to impose it and make sure everything is in the systematic way where they can track the ins and outs. And also, of course, tax, right? Because tax is like the main biggest thing that they want to track in and out of the country and how much per capita is making, whether the state of each country is doing well or not. That's one. Number two is after the COVID happened, everybody was like, we're not going to use fiat because it's like not safe. There's in touch contact. But having QR code during the COVID period was like a massive revolution for most of the people out there. Not particularly for crypto people because we already did that before COVID. But that COVID period was like a wake up call. Like everybody, hello, you guys got to go digital. Like this is what the government is like teaching. Every old people, every baby boomers have to get into digital. Yeah, so I think that's a better way to look at it, the perspective of people getting into the technology instead of just doing it in a way whereby, okay, we use cash and cash, can tear off easily, physically. So that's one thing. And then second thing I see is how crypto is always related to things like the underworld, right? People say it's like for weaponaries, for hacking, especially hacking. Hacking is like the main biggest security issue currently in any technology, especially to the central banks. Any banks could get hacked anytime, at any day. So with that, it might help. CBDC might help. So other than that, I think CBDC also is a good move for the government to actually control the inflation rate. Because currently, like what we see, what the Feds have done, it has created in such a way where it cannot be controlled, So by the calculation, but the thing that the government needs to look upon approaching CBDC is how are they going to impose this technology properly across different countries? Yeah, it might be a good move to a certain extent. Maybe in certain cases, like for example, industry like medical. The way I look at it, medical, because if let's say medical is okay, how do you say that? Not properly used, people will use it in a bad way whereby they use the normal currency to actually manipulate, not manipulate, in a way to make the healthcare system less healthier. Like, you get what I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then with CBDC, at least the data that is controlled in that industry is being used properly for the main people, for the main layman people, like the mass adoption. But because it's maybe certain country, like the bigger country like US, as compared to Singapore is smaller, it's easier to control where I came from. But if you're talking about the bigger economy like America or even those in the North America region, it's hard to track every single thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, so drugs is one of the problems that the cartel have been using this to manipulate the economy there, right? So CBDC might help.
Mm.
Yeah. In a
Okay.
way.
Yeah, I agree with what some of the arguments you meant there, and you mentioned mass adoption as well. It could also, I guess, lead to mass adoption of crypto in general because CBDC is a type of crypto. So I'd like to now invite Ahmed, maybe some arguments, if there are any other further arguments against or sorry for, feel free to say them, and then we can proceed to arguments against the CBDCs.
Yes.
So
Okay.
over to you.
Okay. First of all, we must know the reason why we are into crypto.
Yeah.
Why they are getting started. So we know that the banking system, how they works. They want to control us. They know how much we have. Sometimes in my country they can stop your bank account.
Suspend.
Suspend. Okay.
Yeah.
Because they have the terms that they can do anything without any. Without informing us, they have the right to do so. Because it's happened to me once. Okay, so I think because crypto is more freedom, we are looking for freedom. You can make as much as you want. Okay, there's no limitation on how much can you make, because in banking system there's a limitation at certain percentage they can give you on the return. And the thing is, we see that when we bank in our money, and it will eat up by inflation. That's what we don't want. Okay, if you look at the inflation, I just want to share this. Why bank charge interest rate? Okay, because of inflation. Okay, you cannot buy, let's say, 1 million house today and pay 1 million 30 years, right? Because in 30 years the million value is lesser. That's why bank impose interest, because the future value will be much more like the same for the past 30 years. That's why I said the value of money. So we want to see that. How much can we buy for like 100 dirham here today or 10 years back? Okay, that's the most important part why we are into crypto. Okay, if we into CBDC, okay, it's about controlling you. Okay, we can see like how China have the WeChat. Okay, they are cashless community. If you have cash, it's like you are in a Flintstone. So they've been doing that for years. Cash is like they don't see cash. If you are seeing cash, like where you from? Even we go there, we must install a WeChat. So they have everything. Okay, we see how government can control your spending. They know all your habits. That's why some of the advertisers using that information to send the advertisement to you. Right. So for me, in crypto, the most important part is the value and the freedom. Okay, we see the trend, the halving trend. We can go to 100x, even like 1000x. We see the value. That's what we want. We want that our asset have increasing in value, and it's liquid. You can take it anytime, and the speed of the transaction. Okay, that's why even I have clients from other part of the world, they can pay me within seconds. Because if through banks, they need a lot of documentation. They ask you why you get paid. Or how they want to make sure it's a clean money. But that regulation is stop us to expand. Okay, with this, I can simply, you send me your USDT address, then I send to you. Very fast, right? Yesterday. Okay, that's why I said, I'm not against the banks, but I'm using some, because we still need banks for some transactions. Yes, okay. But I can control, okay, how much money that I need to use to put in the bank, right? So, but the if I don't transfer, the coin that I have might increase in value, right? Or maybe we can do trading, so we can earn more while we are not using the money, while we let our money sitting there eaten by inflation, when we can grow the money every single time when you have in crypto.
Okay, very good arguments. And I think I'll add one thing about the argument for CBDCs, because since right now the way it works is when governments want to initiate monetary policy, like raise interest rates, the banks then have to raise the interest rates that has been raised by the central bank. Then the effect can happen.
Yes.
But when without the normal banks that we know of, the central bank can immediately raise the interest rates on your own, directly to you.
Yeah.
You may now be paying a higher interest rates than you were previously, immediately. Why this is an argument for is because it can help stimulate. Well, monetary policy is meant to help stimulate the economy. If that argument is true, then this is an argument that can be used.
Yeah.
However,
Don't know what's the range that they're going to go further, right, on these.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And another thing, another argument for is that in times of crisis, when people do need cash, they can also deposit money into your account very quickly and easily. Whether they will do that is a separate subject, of course. Knowing governments, how they are and how frugal they are. The idea is to have CBDCs, to have more control, more regulation, and have the ability to regulate the economy and stimulate it as necessary. So now we've covered pretty much all the arguments for it. Now we would like to invite arguments against it, and maybe we'll start with you, Mimi. Against CBDCs.
There's a lot of pointers. It's like you miss the whole point of going against the bank. Yeah. So it's kind of like trying to create a dystopian citizens in a way. So when we look at CBDC, when we look at a characteristic of money, for example, most of the time people say store of value and da. But one thing people don't really talk about is the control of money. And over the history, we can see that how the leaders of any cities or any countries have been using control to manipulate the economy in their favor. So the way why crypto community don't want CBDC to be a mass adoption thing is, I think the kind of things that gonna happen if CBDC were to be imposed heavily, it's just gonna make people go back to their curiosity to Bitcoin more rather than CBDC. I think that's gonna happen. And then in the case of the government point of view, they want to do CBDC, they want to impose digital currency. However, they are not even sure how to bring this technology out yet. It's not in, because the people that created cryptocurrency are the pro-crypto. They need these people to help them. But if they are using it against them, it kind of like defeat the whole purpose. You have to be on both sides of the spectrum. Yeah.
I want to follow up just one thing quickly. What was the reason that because you went into crypto, you wanted to avoid banking? What was your reason for wanting to avoid, banking, normal banking, traditional banking?
Okay, sometimes it's because of overdraft fees, which is quite ridiculous sometimes. And if let's say you have a certain amount of capital, you want to diversify, you don't just put in one bank account, right? Maybe you diversify a few accounts of different banks. And in my case, like for example, if let's say you see one of the bank accounts is not in use for like actively, you want to close the bank account, right? And then the bank will question you back like why you want to close, or they will give you a lot of like processing questionnaire for you to even close, and that is your money, you know.
Right.
Yeah, and they limit like how much you can actually withdraw per day, how much you can actually transfer per day, how much you can. Oh, and another thing, like for example, you travel a lot, we travel a lot. We understand that if we go to the airport, if you bring, for example, 100k of cash, we have to declare, right? If not, we are related to like some sort of like cartel,
Mafia.
Yeah, that kind of things. You know, but with cryptocurrency, Bitcoin especially, it's all on the phone. Like it's your own money. You technically have the control of how much you want to bring into another region or another country. But if we talk about CBDC in other spectrum in terms of digital, they even across border. That when, for example, if I come to Dubai and then from Malaysia or something, they will technically already scan you like, okay, this person has this much money, they're gonna bring this much money to Dubai, these are the much money they're gonna like spend in Dubai, and da 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 da. And you wouldn't want that like a person, a stranger, to interrogate you, you know. It's like going into an interview and then the boss will ask you how much like they technically know your history before even hiring you. Yeah, that's how I look why I think crypto people are against CBDC, and like it's very very scary, you know, where they are going into. However, I think it's not the main threat now, it's just noise, because the government is trying to still figure out how to do this, and they need crypto people to help them. Yeah.
Exactly. Well said. And I'd like to now have Ahmed chime in here. Ahmed, from your experience, you mentioned banking in general want to control, and you also mentioned from your personal experience they suspended your account before. Could you explain a little bit about that, and maybe tell us a little bit about your experience with that?
Okay. Because first of all, before we jump into crypto and digital, like what bank want to do, okay, we know the reason. Okay, there are still the unbanked people in certain countries. Okay, this would be benefit to them. Okay, because I watched on YouTube last time. In order for that person to pay the bill, they have to take like 2 hours traveling just to pay the bill. Maybe with this digital currency with the bank, they can do a lot of things, right? But there are still few things that matters. Okay. First, like I say, the freedom of having the money. Okay, that's what we want. Okay, we don't want people to know how much we have. You know, because in crypto it's limitless. You know, you can be like any amount because your money keep on growing. Okay, there are always many ways for you to grow your money every single day, even every single second. You know, the value today might be different tomorrow, and it can be like ridiculous amount, the figures, right? So okay, we don't want anybody control. Okay, we want to do whatever we want with our own control. You know, we don't want people to charge, you know, our transaction fee and query why you need to spend this money, why you have this much money. Okay, like Mimi said, we travel the world. Okay, we only allowed to $10,000 limit of cash, right? So who want to carry cash that much? Okay, there are people carrying cash that much, but how much can you spend with $10,000 cash? That's why people bring credit cards. Okay, but in crypto, right, I can bring like a certain amount. Today I spend, and tomorrow the amount can be different. You know, I can keep on spending and keep on growing. So that is the most important part. We want to have the freedom. Okay, we don't want to people could control our money, and our value is keep on increasing. That's the most important part.
Yes, agreed. And one thing I couldn't agree more. The freedom is a very crucial part of why, you know, I myself got into crypto myself. The ability that I don't have to bank with any bank that's centralized, and I don't have to let any person or agent know how much is in my account.
Correct.
One thing to note as well is you mentioned that your bank account got frozen.
Yes.
Now, with CBDCs, do you see a possibility that they could increase the freezing of bank accounts.
Okay.
Even better.
I heard they can even have your money expired. If you don't use your money, it can be expired. Okay. How can your money become expired? You know, when you have the money, you make a lot of money, then suddenly you don't use your money. It can, because yes, bank have the regulation. Because it happened to me. They said there's the clause. We can close your account without any reason. You know. So because I said. This is not good, you know. When you make a lot of money, they close your, because in my country they can even like take your asset, not even a bank account, like your house and everything. It's under your name, right? So in crypto, it's not gonna happen, right? In crypto, not gonna happen. So that's why I said this freedom, you know. That's what we teach people about crypto, you know. Why you need, because there are still 90% people who not into crypto yet. The market is so huge, but there are too much information. Okay, in YouTube, in the internet, there's good and bad, you know, pro and cons, you know. But how we want to make sure they get the right education, the proper education, how to start your journey in crypto. Start from opening the account, you know, what to buy, you know, how to grow your crypto. So this is important, okay, because people who've been through in the banking system will understand that. Okay, I cannot do big business without query, transfer a lot of money, because I used to do that back then. You know, when I have business international, every time I want to bank the money, they ask what's the purpose, what's the paper, and sometimes it take time. Okay, when people send you money, it might take 2 weeks. You know, because of you need to have a proper documentation, right? It's like it's not good for business. But with crypto, I can send you within a few seconds. Okay, that's why I said I guess that in certain aspect, okay, for unbanked people, they might need that, you know. Yeah, but some people who already make money, they don't want people to know how much their money, and they don't want people to control. They can bring any amount in the world just with their smartphone, right? So this is the most important part why I'm against CBDC. Okay. There are some good for certain part of the world, but when people in crypto, they understand more why they against it.
There's like two spectrum of people. You know, like people who earn salary, the way they see it, because they haven't experienced that kind of amount of money where it is being taken from them.
Yes.
So they will look at CBDC as, okay, I will listen to my government. This is good. This is against criminals. But the real criminals, you know, right? I wouldn't want to say that. And then there's another spectrum of people where we understand how money is being controlled, how market is being manipulated by the government, by the banks, right? So we don't want that to happen, because the one that is paying the price are people who earn salary, who are paying salary tax, right? But they are not aware because they are not financially savvy. So they just follow because they are brainwashed.
Interesting. Yeah, one thing I would like to also touch on is with regards to CBDCs being able to be deleted. Like you said, they can they can expire it. They can set coupon. It's like a coupon. You know, a coupon has an expiry date. This will have much bigger control over our spending ability, but one thing that they might use in their argument is that the people do not know how to spend their money, and they want to be able to help them, maybe with benefits, help them, put in some barriers so that they don't spend it on gambling. For example, or if you're an alcoholic and you have a history of alcohol, they can stop you from buying alcohol in the store. The only way you would be able to obtain it is cash, but it would have to be untraceable, because cash is the most untraceable form of money, where all the money laundering actually takes place. So those are some arguments that they could use in favor for CBDCs. That could also prevent death, because drunk driving and the consequences of that, things like that can happen. Well, what are your thoughts on that?
I see it also in another spectrum is that, okay, these people need help by controlling their money that they spend on drugs, but of course they need rehabilitation and stuff like that, but the main thing is what people need is financial education. Not control. Okay, you don't know anything, I come into the picture.
Yeah.
It's very dictatorship, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, well said. And Ahmed, what do you think?
Okay.
Ghaz, what do you think?
Okay, in financial, there's two parts. One is how to make money. Second part is how to manage the money. There are some people who know how to make money, but they don't know how to manage it. And that's why in crypto, that's why we teach people not only just to make sure you have an asset that grow in value. Okay, so how to grow it more faster, because that's why we use crypto. There are so many ways people can earn money in crypto. There's so many ecosystem, right? So another part is how to manage it. Okay, how to manage the money is the most crucial part. Okay, people can make money, but they don't know how to manage the money. So this is the most important part, and when we want to teach people, okay, because if somebody control your money, okay, they control the limitation, okay, they control the value, they control the expired date, how you want to grow yourself. Okay, but some in some parts of the of your life, in your life, you might need that, to pay your bills on time, to pay your tax, to pay your debts and everything. But at certain points, we need to educate them. Okay, what's the benefit? How can you use this CBDC and how can you use crypto? Okay, there's two parts of it, because now when we are in digital world, not everybody is money in digital, even in the bank. I can transfer numbers, so I just transfer numbers to you, and you use it until you cash it out, or you don't, because it's more cashless world right now. You can use card, so you don't even need cash. Okay, but the thing is, we don't want to have a control in our financial. We want to know how to grow it faster. That's why as people like us, we have an academy. This is the most important part, because this will be the future, right? Because if bank want to do a digital with the crypto, if people know about this too, then they know where is the which one is better. But you still need banking system, because they still think that you can do crypto. But I see in Dubai, I can buy property with crypto. So in our country, if we buy cash, they will detect you. They say, oh, how can these people have money and they don't pay taxes? I'm not against tax, we still have to pay like a good citizen, right?
Exactly.
But to spend money also they can control. Okay, so but here I can come here and shop for a property, and then I have a property. So if I need to bring cash, okay, so my bank will ask, hey, why you need to transfer this much more money to Dubai? So this is something that we have to look into it. Even when bank do digital, of course they control. They have certain amount that you can transfer around. So this is like, for me, I'm against it. I'm against it.
There's so many debts that they want to cover, right? They can't pay off the debt, so they create new money. Yeah, that's just the way the world works.
And it's really sad. It's really sad that that's how they do this, because this will only lead to more control. And like you said, without education, more control will not motivate people to have education. They will just be like, that's just the way it is. Yeah. So I'm just abiding by the rules, and there's not much I can do. Yeah. And they will just accept defeat. And we being in the Web3 community, in the crypto, we're like rebels of central banking.
Yes.
One thing I will also say is, with regards to CBDCs, each bank may have their own CBDC, each country may have their own. So how will it be possible to do cross-transfer border when they have their own protocols to meet? They may be inoperable, not interoperable with each other. It's kind of like each metaverse has their own blockchain. So to teleport from one metaverse to the next, it's not possible to do that yet. They don't communicate yet. So there needs to be some kind of bridge.
Cross-chain technology.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm okay with centralized finance and decentralized finance to come together. We always need that bridge together. So maybe if that's the case that they want to do, maybe CBDC might help the mass adoption. It's okay. But if it's going to be on control basis where they claim not to be, but we can tell that claims to be, it's going to be two different world
and we don't want to be another China. Right? Yeah. That's why we have democratics. That's why we don't have communism.
Okay. Another thing is because each country must have different regulation.
Yeah.
Like how you want to do a cross like with the CBDC from this country A to country B. But in crypto, there's borderless. I can transfer to any network. You can choose. I can ask you so it's like more freedom to do all the transaction, and faster and less charge. They're very affordable. The charges. The most important is the speed. So the speed. That's why a lot of new cryptos coming out because of the speed, the efficiency. Okay, that's good. That's good. But if CBDCs happen, country A might have some regulation, country B must have some regulation. So how do they connect to each other? Or maybe they have one big central bank who really want to control everybody in the world. Because you see, still 90% people not into crypto. There's still big market, So that's why we as an educator, we want those people to be in the crypto world. To feel the freedom, to see how you really can grow your money. You can have freedom to use it anywhere in the world. Okay, you can be a digital nomad, stay in the world, anywhere part of the world. Your money is still with you, right? So this is the most important part. We want to make sure that everybody understand about crypto. Okay, so then because we used to have all these cashless or digital things in the market.
Now this leads to the next thing, because maybe a topic for next time, but even with crypto, there is a policy that's, I think, already being implemented called the travel rule, and whereby any transaction that's above or the same equal to 1,000 USD will have to be reported in transaction monitoring by the FATF. It's a third party body that regulates and drafts policy on surveillance of crypto. So even with crypto, it's borderless, it's fast and everything. Even that is being cracked down by authorities.
Yeah.
Soon there will be no way and no escape.
Correct.
What do you guys think?
But we see in crypto world, the technology changed so fast. So there always a solution, right? It's always solution. That's why in our academy, we teach people the way that to do trading is much more simpler and easier using AI. So there's so many AI can help you to do your website, to get your copywriting, to create a video, but not everybody explore to trade using AI. That's why in our academy we more explore into new technology. So you don't have to spend hours to look at the chart, to do a research, right? So the system will do everything for you. We always a better solution when there is a problem. People in crypto or people in IT, they always find a way. Oh, we want to do this because of this. Start from Bitcoin. The speed of transaction per second. So a lot of cryptos was improve the TPS, right? Transaction per second. Because when we see the demand, there will be always a solution. That's why when AI coming in, some people said it's good. Yeah, it's good. Let's AI do the boring job, making money for us. Right? I like that. Let's say I do the boring job. Right? But we need to make sure that this technology will help us. Especially a lot of people. Okay, we don't want to make it hard. Because there's still big market out there, right? So because when too much information, it confuses them. Right? What to choose? People say this like that, pro and cons. So when they confuse, sometimes they make a bad decision. Okay, we want to educate them to make sure they go to the right path, in crypto, to make sure they can see the result. That's why in our academy, we have a technology that is hands-on. I can teach newbies, like they don't know about crypto or trading, to start making their money. So this thing will help many people that still not into crypto, because learning must be fast. You don't want to have like 3 hours just to earn some degrees, for mastering or PhD. We need to shorten the time to focus on the specific skills that you need to know. Okay, so you will be part of the.
We have to come together to actually make it simpler and more user friendly. At the stage we are at now, it's too complex for a normal layman person. That is why people shy away from doing crypto, because to them when they open, I need this wallet, I need that wallet, and then I need to open a secret phase, like what is this code, like it's too complicated for them at this stage. But like what Ghaz said, that the technology is moving at a fast pace.
Yes.
We keep improving, so I'm sure the blockchain industry will revolve, and this bear market, as per usual, finance is always boring when bear seasons happen, right? And that is where CBDC and all this noise comes in, and then people fear mongering, so that's the best marketing tactics for the government to actually impose the control. But when the bull period comes, they were like, oh, actually CBDC, there's no need for CBDC. They might have a different narrative.
Yes, they might need, but I think it's the adoption might take time. You see, we look at the history of Bitcoin when they started in 2009. Okay, so nobody really into it, okay. But now the adoption goes into the companies who have that as an asset, like Tesla, and even for countries, it take a longer time to adopt a crypto. Okay? But if this thing, I think it might take a longer time. Okay, we will understand digital, financial, and everything, but it might take to adopt. Maybe some people, some countries that need it, yes, I agree with that. But with developed country, people into crypto, they might really don't care about that,
Okay. Very good. Okay. I think that's everything then. So, I'm Adel Burton, and this has been Super Future Podcast. I thank the guests, Mimi and Ghaz. So thank you for coming, and hope to have a round 2 next time.
All right.
Thank you.